Members of the Maidstone and Lloydminster RCMP detachments have shut down a marijuana grow operation. Last Thursday, after a lengthy investigation, officers executed a search warrant on a rural property in the RM of Wilton. They found 35 marijuana plants, solar panels, batteries, and an irrigation system and other equipment. Now, the case is still under investigation. Now that students are back at school, there will be more traffic on the roads, whether it's vehicles or on foot. RCMP are reminding motorists on the rules of the roads when approaching a school zone. Corporal Dave Cadoon with the traffic unit joins us for this edition of our monthly RCMP interview. Well, thank you very much for joining us. All right, so let's just get right into it. School zones. We're going to see a lot more foot traffic and a lot more drivers around schools now that it's back in session. So let's talk about the school zone times. There are certain times of the day where drivers have to go 30 kilometers per hour. And which times of the days, or which time of the day is that?
In Lloydminster, the city has adopted the Alberta school zone times for both sides of the border. So no matter which side we're on, we deal with the morning times of 8 o'clock until 9:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. and again from 3 p.m. until 4:40 p.m.
Okay, so these are times where drivers need to slow down to 30 kilometers per hour.
Correct. Outside of those times, normal speed zones are in effect for the city.
There might be some confusion though when it comes to school zone times and then playground times, because playground times, they are in effect full time, like not during just school hours?
Correct. Playground zones are in effect from sun up to sundown all year round, whether school zones are in effect or not. So people have to pay attention to the signs that are posted, whether it's a playground or a school zone sign.
Okay, so if it is a playground, is it Monday to Friday or is that Monday to Sunday, like all week?
7 days a week.
7 days a week, and it is 30 kilometers per hour as well?
Yes.
Okay, so we got that one. All right, so we're talking about now buses. We're going to see a lot of school buses on there, and I know just last week on the first day of school, you caught someone who was passing a bus. So can you kind of explain to drivers who may not be familiar with what passing a school bus is about?
When they see that flashing red, it means stop. It doesn't mean you can go if you feel that it's safe. You must stop. What people aren't understanding is when they're meeting a school bus and they see children getting on at the bus door, they're still continuing to pass the school bus. They can't do that. The buses are designed with those lights to make the area safe for the children coming on or coming off. That's why they've got the stop arm that has been attached to them, however many years ago that was. And what we're really trying to emphasize is because we have the problem here in Lloydminster, we just need people to remember, stop until those lights are off.
Okay, and how much is, because you said you guys busted someone doing it, what is the monetary fine for that?
The fine is $402, but it also comes with 6 demerit points, and that's a lot. If someone has a graduated driver's license, that'll mean an automatic suspension of their license, and for someone with a normal driver's license, that's half of your total safety points.
One final thought, if you could talk to the drivers out there, what would you say about driving around school areas?
You know, it's like our sign says, flashing red means stop ahead. Is a child's life really worth the rush? And that's where we're finding the concern. People they're in too much of a rush to get where they're going. The school bus doesn't wait for a long time to pick up their children. It's just a few seconds and they're on their way. Stop, be safe, and get to where you're going safely.
Well, it's time again to look back in retrospect this week from the archives. This installment of our weekly walk through history is dedicated to the September 11th attacks on the United States and how it affected people in our area.
This week in 2001, we report on local reaction to the terror attacks in the United States.
How can anybody do that? That's about the only thing I can think of. I can't comprehend why anybody would do that.
Today's American devastation is sending waves of shock and disbelief through the minds of Midwest residents.
It's like makes you sick. It's awful. You're supposed to have all the security, and they could do this in the country of America. Like, it's scary.
It's absolutely disastrous, and we're going to find out how crippling it will be in the next few days.
It's very scary, and it's very sad that something like that happens. I don't think Canada's probably going to be hit that way. I think we're too small to really care about, thank goodness.
Well, I think it's terrible. All the young people and all the children, and there's going to be orphans.
The looks on their faces say it all. What their eyes have seen in the last few hours is unimaginable. Those with experience in disastrous situations know it will take a long time before they can begin to get over these experiences.
It's something that no one's ever going to forget. I can speak for myself and probably some other members here. We're all feeling it.
One piece of news was particularly disturbing for Lloydminster's fire chief. Over 250 firefighters were killed in rescue attempts yesterday.
Something like that always hits close to home. Doesn't matter whether it's firefighters, police officers, EMS people, because we all work very close together.
Though the losses were devastating, perhaps some consolation can be taken from the fact that their lives were taken while helping others. Court Smith, NewsHour.
Join us next time when the curfew law is being reviewed. I'm Brian Hardy for Retrospect, this week from the archives.